ó fi dàbí ní ẹ̀tẹ̀ alọ́ ní ojú yẹn.
So good evening, guys. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I think we should just start right away because we have a lot to do this week. Last week we didn't complete the curriculum, so coach. Hmm. I'm coming. So yeah, I think others have not joined the call. Hmm. Okay, let's just start. So last week we stopped at arrays. And we said that um and we talked about how you can remove an object from an array, how you can remove an object from an array, how you can um get an object from an array, how you can delete a particular object from an array with the index, how to get the length of the array, how to add something to an array where you use the push method. Uh, and we learned about dynamic and fixed size array. So let me share my screen now. I think where we stopped last week was that we wanted to look at some array, how to do some like manipulation with array. So how do you remove like an object from an array? Because there are different methods which you can use to remove an object from an array. You can decide to remove it by um just remove it by its index. Yeah, and then you are done. We looked at that last week. Look at that last week. But then we can remove an element from an array by shifting the element from right to left. So let's create a contract, pragma solidity, specify the compiler version 0.8.0. 7, and contract array. So for me now, let me define an array of integers, unsigned integers. Um, an array of unsigned integers, call it, let it be public array. Then let me assign it a set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Now I'll create a function. Now see, call the function remove. So remove stuff from an array. This is public, and then I want it to return the array. So it returns the array into 256. The array, and the array, give it a memory. That's the storage, because an array is like a string. So from here now, first thing we have to do, okay, the array is taking in an index as arguments, index. Then we have to make sure that we have to put a check, require that the array dot length, the length of the array is is greater than the index. If not, throw this error that index is out of bound. Now, given that, then okay. So given that now, the operation now for the array, we have to loop through the array. So see for I, can say I is equal to the index which we are taking in. Now we now say I is I is less than the array dot length minus 1, then I plus plus. So the reason why we're saying this minus 1 is that, let me document it. So we are trying to loop through, we are looping through the array, because we want to, this function, what is the function doing? Removing an element from an array, shifting it from, I think it's from right to left, shifting it from right to left. So from a right hand side to left. By shifting it, that's, in this case now you're shifting elements. So now we are starting from the right hand side of this array, and then whatever element we want to like remove, we're going to shift this, we're going to shift the elements to get to the last one, that's the last index, and then we pop it out. So how do we do that? So as we are looping through this now, come, so it's supposed to be this I is equal to index. Oh, okay, you int. 2, 5, 6. This index. So now, as we are looking through this now, we are meant to say that okay, for the array, that means as we are looking through it, we want to make sure that the current index, the elements that will be there, yeah, because we are moving from right to left. So the current element that will be there, it has to be the next element, which is why we are looping it that's why we're looping it to the second to the last one, and we're leaving the last one out. So we'll now say, okay, the array, the index plus one. So the current elements, we are assigning it, or let's say the previous element, we are assigning it the next one, as we are moving, looping through it from the right to the left. So as we're moving like that, we're assigning the previous one the um the current one, the current element. We're assigning it to the index of the previous one. So um so from here now, after doing this, then you now have to remove that last element. So you just say array dot pop, and to remove the last element from the array. This. Okay, then okay, then from here you return the array. So now if we test this function now, we deploy it. It has been deployed. So from here, for the array now, if we want to cross check, okay, the index 0 of the array, what number is there? 1. Index 1, number is there? 1. Is 2, sorry. Index 2, what number is there? 3. Index 4 is 5 that is there. So if I put index 6, you see that it's out of bound. It's going to revert. It's going to return this index is out of bound. Let me see. Yeah, data is out of bound. Looking for where it returned our error. So it's basically reverting. So it did not go through. So that means our function is working. This particular code line of code is working. So if we now go to this remove now, and then let's see, you know that I said want to remove the element, we want to remove an element by shifting it from right to left. So let's say I want to remove 3 from this array. 3 is in index 2, 0, 1, 2. So if I come here in this array and I put 2 and I click on remove, so 3 has been removed from this array. 3 has been removed from this array. So now if I type index 0, index 0 is 1. Index 2, index 2 is 4, because 4 now is coming here. This 4 is coming here because this 3 has been removed. So index 2 is index 0 is 1, index 2 is 2, index 0, index 1 is 2, then index 2 is 4 because we removed 3 already, is 4. Now index 3 is going to be 5. That is returned here. So if I click on index 4, you see that it will return an error, revert. So it has been removed. So like that, like that, like that. So you can remove an element this way from an array. So I don't know, do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, that's I think that will be it on array. Then let's move on to the next one. So from here, let me copy this. So from here, the next thing we are supposed to do is enum. So I'll create a new file, call it enum.sol. Paste this. Oh. So now, when do you use enum? Enums are enumerables. So when do you use them? So you can use them for when you want to keep track of states. You get you want to keep track of state. Example now, you want to keep track of his status of maybe user user transaction, maybe user transaction, if the transaction is still pending or if it has gone through. Or for example, you want it to you want to use it to keep track of like a let's say a delivery service now.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. You're not sound. I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. It's my network. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So let me share my screen again. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so like I was saying, I was talking about enum. Enum is used to like track states, like delivery states and all. So let's create a contract. A contract. Call it enum. Now, so can create an enum called status. We're going to use it to track, let's say, delivery status. Then we can see um, delivery has been accepted. This one status accepted. Delivery is pending. Delivery has been cancelled. What other one? Cancelled. Then it has been rejected. Then it has been delivered or shipped. Let's say shipped. So yeah, we have 5 states. 5 states. So the way Solidity track this is that this accepted now, yeah, it's it, it's given an index of 0, pending is given an index of 1, cancelled 2, 3, 4. That's where it's being tracked. So now if I check, if I do okay a function to get the status is get public view, then returns status. But first off, let's start that in the status. I need to define a variable called status, which is taking the type of enum status, the enum status. Then I can make it public. So now this function is going to return status. So now we can also update a status by passing an integer to it. For example, I can say function set status equal to status and underscore static status, sorry, public. And we say status is equal to underscore status. So here we are setting or assigning an input into status. So we are updating status by assigning an input into it. So now if you put like maybe 0, it's going to update accepted, because accepted is the one in 0, the index 0 here. Accept, if you put 1, that will be pending. So like that, like that, like that. Then we have what can we do with enum again? Yeah, then you can update to a specific enum. So we can say function. So we say function, let's say cancel. Then we have status underscore it's if I cancel, so want to update. So if I say this is public, there's no need of doing this. So it is public. Then you can say status is equal to status dot cancelled. Another thing we can do is to delete an enum. So we can say reset of the enum. So we just have to say this is public, then delete status. So this is how to work with enum. Then just note that you can also import an enum. You can declare it in one file and then import it in another file. So we'll still look at imports later. But yeah, this is how to work with enum. This one, you need to get the let's even deploy it. Let's deploy it. So this one, we get the enum. So you can see 0. If I get status, the default is 0. Set, if I want to set, I see 0, it's been set. Then status, we set it, it give us 0, cancel. So I think this enum, maybe when we are building a full-fledged program, then you see why it's how it's useful. But basically just know that it's used to track status like this. Even in when if you've done backend, and then let's see here a typical example. If you've done backend and then for that particular application here, there's an admin and then there's user. So you have to do what they call role-based authorization. So you have to say, okay, there's a particular field in the user schema called role. And then in that role, the user can either be maybe customer, and then the user can be an admin. So, and then you want to say, okay, as a customer, you have access to a specific route, and then an admin, you have access to specific routes. So I mean, you have access to all the routes. So something like that, you can do it in Solidity. So I don't know, do you guys understand? So do you get me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, my screen was hanging. Sorry.
Okay. So moving on. Um, I'm trying to check what is the next thing.
Okay. I also ask a question. Are you going to touch
Okay,
any framework?
framework. What did you ask? You
Yeah.
said, are we going to touch on framework?
Any like
So
Foundry?
yeah, we'll do Foundry, sure. It's in the curriculum. But Foundry is not a framework, oh, it's a tool. It's, a, it's just like hard hats. So instead of using hard hats, people use Foundry now, since Foundry allows you to write your tests in Solidity. So everything you just write is Solidity. But with hard hats, you have to be testing in JavaScript. For Python, they use or Brownie or I think Web3.py. Yeah. So I think let's move on to um, struct. So what is a struct? So a struct is basically a type that allows you to group like things together. It's more like like the name implies, structure. You're trying to like do a structure, just like when you are designing a database, you are trying to do a model it a particular table. So a struct is like that. So for example, now a user a user struct will contain fields like the username, the user password, the user email. You get, you can put that into a struct. So let's see an example. Uh, uh, Sorry. So the contract here. Sorry. So create a contract, call it struct. So now let's create a to-do struct. So you can say struct is equal to struct to do. This is like a model, and then you know that okay, for a to do now, I can say to have the type, put the type string, then to be a text, then can put bool whether the to do has been completed or not. Let's just put these two basic ones. Then create an array of to dos. A to do array. So it's an array of struct. Then public, the name will be what, to dos. Now create a function that allows you create a to do. So create, I say string, sorry, it's a text. The text is a string, so I can put call data or can make it a call data. Then this is public. This is public. So I can say to add this struct to the to do array. I can just say this is the to do struct. Now you know that there's a text and then there's completed. So I can say okay, this one is the input underscore text. So this one is the text that the user put in, and then what do I put for completed? I can say false. It has not been completed. Now this is just one part. Now I can now say to do's, which is the array. So to do's dot push. We left that as an array method dot push, and then we push this inside. I don't know. Do you understand what I did?
I didn't get the other part before the push.
Okay, so basically we're trying to create a struct. So we're trying to create this to do. And we know that okay, for the to do in that struct, we have a text and then we have a boolean that say, okay, whether the to do is completed or not. So now this is the to do. To create the to do struct or object. So this is to do, then inside the um, parentheses, put the text, which is the um, string that has been entered there, and then you put whether okay has it been completed, put false, if it has been completed, put true. So this is first. Then we now have to add it to the to-dos array, which we declared here. Because we say, okay, this to-dos array is an array of struct. You can see it. This is the to-do struct. So did you get me now?
I get it now. I get it.
Okay. So now another way of pushing an array of struct is that you can see array dot push. Then this is the to do. This one is better when, let's say, this one now, you can see that I'm putting it in this particular order. In this, the one that comes first is the text. The next one is the completed. Now this one now is going to allow me to put it in an object. So this object now, and I say, okay, this is the name in the struct. Then what are we giving it? Underscore text. Then we now have completed too. Completed. Then what are we giving it? False. So this one now, it does not, I can allow completed to come first and then text to come second. It does not affect it. So um, another way we can add something to a struct is that in this part now, we can say, okay, we can create an empty to do. So you can say, okay, this is a to do, and then create an empty to do. Create an empty to do, but this to do now is going to have the to do struct is a memory. The memory. Now we can now say this is the to do. If we want to update it, we say to do dot text is equal to this text that the user entered, and then you can see to do dot completed. Got to false. So this is another way we can create um, we can create an object or a struct, you get, by creating an empty one and then updating it. So I think that's that on that. Then is there anything we need to do on struct again? So I think that will be all on struct until we start working on with it fully to build projects. So you would have been seeing this memory, core data, and all. Now that's where we are now. Let me like explain this now. So I'll be explaining this now. Memory, core data, and storage. So variables, we assign it to like variables, and a variable can be a string, it can be an array. You get, it can be an array, it can be a struct, yeah, it can be a mapping. So variables are declared as, they can be declared as storage or memory or core data. So when do you know when to use them? Now, for a storage, variable is a state variable. Storage variable is a state variable that is stored on the blockchain. So when you use storage, yeah, the variable is stored on the blockchain. It is stored on the blockchain. Then when you use, I think I was giving like that time, okay, that one was like for variable, where you have like local variable, state variable, and then we have local state, and then what's the other one again? The one that you can fetch directly from the blockchain.
Global.
That's yeah, global
Global.
variable. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So now for data storage now, we can when it's data storage, that's variables like string, struct, mappings, and the likes. So it can be storage. Storage variable is stored on the blockchain. Then memory. Memory variable is in memory, as the name implies. Yeah, and it's only going to be, you can only like use it in a function. Use memory inside the function, because after the function finishes executing, it's gone. It's not stored on the blockchain. It's only like defined in a function when the once the function is called. Then we have core data. So core data is a special data location that contains function arguments. So you can only use core data for like now, see this place here where we use core data inside arguments of a function. Arguments of a function. So that's why we use core data here. Use core data here. So um let's create examples. Data locations. Dot soul. So so now we let's say okay. I create this function. Let me call it. Let me first create a struct and then also create an array. Looking for the best example can use to explain this. Okay. So let me just create a function. Like I said, memory and core data. Memory is only exists within a function. Core data only exists in the can only be used as arguments in a function. You get as argument in a function, and then storage. Storage is a state variable is stored on the blockchain. So you can use storage like to define a variable. For example, let me say I create this struct now. I create this struct, I'll call my struct, and then let's say I call it full, put full here. Let's say you're in 256. You just remember. Then for storage, I can try to say this my struct is equal to my struct is what my struct is equal to first of let me create call it storage. Storage my struct storage. Let me call this like let me say an array of sorry my struct, then this is an array of my struct, so let me call it array. And I can even say okay, this is gonna be storage. No, I think it's supposed to be after. Fire. Storage. Repeated identifier but got storage. I say this is you int 256. Coming. This is a function. I say internal function. I say okay. Storage is a state variable stored on the blockchain. If I say then if I create another function, call it f2, put this here internal, sorry, memory internal. Just external. Let me see. Core data. External. Then I can also see memory. Memory. So like I said, we use them in when we're building applications, we use it in real scenario. But a data location, always remember that core data, let me even put it here. Storage. Storage variable is a state variable. Memory so memory variable is exists when a function exists only when a function is called. Then call data this this data location of variable so call data can only be used in function arguments. Then storage can be used as state variable. Sorry. Storage can be used as state variable and then call data. Yeah, call data can only be used in function arguments. Memory can only be used within a function, and then storage variables. Storage can be used outside of a function. We'll see more examples of this as we move along. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I also check the next stuff we're moving to. So I think we should just stop here for today. So by on Friday, we are going to be doing we'll learn about functions and functions very well. And then we'll learn about constructors, inheritance. So yeah, so I think we'll just stop here for today. So if you have any question, just let me know.
Okay. I want to ask. I've been trying to get the foundry on my system, but I don't know. I'm having issue. Maybe I'll ask you. I will send you the error during the in the morning. And again,
Okay.
how many projects are we going to do? Like see, look that
Mm,
you talk about AMM, the automated market maker. Is that the one we're
yeah.
going to do?
No, that's the main project. Yeah. But I think once we are done with like this, let me see where we are stopping before we start Fonzie. So we are going to be starting Fonzie in coming. I want to check. So we're going to be starting Foundry in um, week 7. Yeah, week 7. So that's where the project. Let me list the project we'll work on that week 7 is going to be um, how to implement an ERC20 token. How can you build your own ERC20 token? How can you build a crowdfunding smart contract? We're going to work on it. We're going to work on oracles. Yeah, we'll work on an application where we'll have to use like Oracle to fetch like external data. So yeah, we'll work on that. So and then we'll have an assessment. Also, we'll do it like during the during the class, and then after that, we're going to have an assessment where I'll give you like a reward application to build. I'll give you a reward application to build. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. I also
yeah,
want to ask, like, I'm trying to like I don't really know how to. I'm trying to start uploading. I've also started doing some project now. I did like 2 or 3 already. So how
okay,
to upload them to my GitHub and document them properly.
okay, okay. You don't know, like you know how to use GitHub, right?
And I don't know. I learned this like 2 years back, but I don't have more. I've forgotten how to do it. So I want to try to
Okay.
go through YouTube to learn how to do it
Um,
properly.
you don't have to go to YouTube. Let me send you one. Coming Atlas. Atlas. GitHub. Git. I want to share it to the group. I'll share it to the group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the group safe. Mm. I've sent it.
Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah. So you can just read through it. Yeah, you'll be good at it. So
Thank you.
yeah. So aside that, maybe till on Friday then.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. You're welcome.